All right, man. It's Saturday. It's the Free Form Rock Podcast After Show. I'm sorry I sound like William Shatner all the time, but he's one of my heroes. Free Form Rock Podcast. All right, Jerry, what's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot, dude. Just a chilling, man. Had actually some a pretty good couple of weeks. I'm worried that a bad week is coming because I don't have good luck, and I've been having some good luck lately.
Because I got
Other than that, I've been doing good, man. Can't complain.
Mooger, man. Oh, he's like offline. Let's get Tim. Tim, what's up, man?
Jared, just like me. Every time something good happens to me, I'm just sitting
I'm
there
telling you, man. I'm sitting
waiting
here
for
waiting for.
the
I'm
drop.
waiting for it. I really
Waiting
am.
for it. I'm almost begging for it because that's my life.
Yeah.
Hey, you're riding high on Tuesday and shot down in May, right? Mooger, what's up, brother?
Monday. Riding high on Monday, shot down in May.
I like it. I like Tuesday better. Mondays suck. I didn't want to say Monday. Mooger.
Mooger's presently
Mooger's
muted
laking it
and
up.
conversating.
Your headphone. You're muted, bitch. Man, I'm having a good week. I just got approved for fucking land lease for my mobile home that I'm buying. Fucking cool. We got the home inspection coming on Wednesday. I've been stressed out. I've been a bitch to a lot of people because I've been stressed out. It
Now,
sucks.
is this in a park or are you buying your own land with this
I'm
mobile
buying the mobile home and I'm leasing the land.
piece of land? Okay.
Leasing the land. But Mooger, are you unmuted yet? Can you
Nope.
talk?
What?
There he is.
What?
Who?
When?
How you
Where?
doing, man?
Why?
No, everything's good, man. I'm up here at beautiful campground in Lake James, Indiana, or Lake James Lake. Lake James, I guess that includes it being a lake, and we're in Angola, Indiana. So it's a good time. Glad to be here with you guys. Maybe not for the full after show, but we'll be here for a minute.
All right, you're from Indiana. Have you ever been to Brookville Lake yet? Ever?
Who?
Have you ever been to Brookville
No,
Lake?
no.
Yeah. Well, when I lived in Cincinnati, we used to go vacation at Brookville in Indiana a lot. I just wondering
Okay.
since you live there, have you been there? I don't know.
Right. I've definitely heard of it, but I
Yeah,
just have never been.
I got you.
Uh, but yeah, I know I got this like weird sunbeam coming down in front of my face. That's gonna
It's
cut my face
angelic,
in half.
man.
Hey, man, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, well, anyway, yeah, it like my last week was a shit week. But I'm glad everybody else had a great week. I mean, that's a blessing for everybody. So take it when you get it.
It,
But hell, I just had a really good doc checkup, So hey, I'm 50 years old and everything's trending in the right direction, right? So we got to go there.
yeah, I got a killer
Doesn't that
girlfriend.
make you feel? Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Doesn't that make you feel good? You like, I'm 53. Every time I go for a checkup, I'm freaking out, dude. Because I'm kind of a hypochondriac. But once you get that all clear from the doctor, you're like, yes.
Well,
So
it's
what do I
like,
do? I go grab a triple cheeseburger and a large fry on the way home. So fuck
It's
it.
like when you head out of there, you're like, yeah, man, I'm cashing that shit in.
well, it's like during COVID, man. My fucking A1C was 8.1. I go, oh my God. My doctor wanted to put me on all these meds. I go, no, I know what I was doing. My fat ass was just sitting there watching Star Trek. Or fucking not exercising, not doing shit. So I started
Yep.
like doing little light jogs around the thing, cutting down my sugar intake. And my next fucking A1C was 6.5. And she looks at me and she goes, you did know how to correct that. Yes, I do. I know what my mistakes were, bitch.
Yeah, the key is the key with type 2 diabetics is you got to keep fucking moving, dude.
You gotta keep
That's one of
moving,
the
man. You gotta
big
keep
keys.
you gotta keep moving.
That
You
and drink
gotta
a lot of water.
you gotta drink, you gotta eat more protein than carbs. If you
Yeah.
eat more protein than carbs, you're fine.
That is true.
Well,
I kind of lapse on that sometimes, but I hear what you're saying. That you're right.
Yeah, dude. I get
well,
these fucking these
there, there,
protein
there,
bowls.
yeah, there's just nothing. There's no replacement for putting the fork down and getting active. That's
No,
what you need to do.
absolutely.
And I unfortunately sit in an office chairs 10 hours a day because that's my
I
job.
did too for the
And I
longest
hate
time.
that. But it's still, when I get up to stretch my leg, we got like a 3 or 4 acre pond, and I'll just walk around it, man. I'll just
Right.
do a couple of laps. Takes all of 20 minutes, but at least I moved, got some steps in. I take my dog for a walk when it's not 90 degrees, but walking the dog is not cardiovascular because she stops at every fucking mailbox, light, lamp, fucking post, sniff, 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 5 feet, stop, 5 feet, stop, 5 feet, stop.
Mhm.
And it's like, That's not
Hey.
cardiovascular.
So
So I
my
need to
dog
do
isn't
some
the
more
only
walking
one
on
that
my
does
own.
that, huh? Okay.
Well, all dogs do that, but my one dog's sock, she pulls like a bull. She
No,
like
man,
pulls you everywhere. And it's
there
like,
are some-
slow down. I can't keep up, sock.
Yeah, there are some dogs that love fucking running with you and won't stop. But yeah, I hear what Mooger's saying. I had a dog that
Let
would
me
fucking...
clarify. I'm the one pissing on the mailbox, the lamppost, the tree, and the hydrant.
You know
The
what?
dog
That's
wants to
rock
go.
and
The dog
roll
wants
there,
to
Booger.
go,
That's
man.
rock and roll.
I'm the one pissing on everything. But
Yeah, the
you
cops
know.
will come by your house and say, hey, man, we got to like keep you away from schools because you're pissing in front of fucking houses.
For me, I'm type 2
Me
I
too.
am too.
and
too.
have been. I've been a diabetic all my life. I was born diabetic. I just didn't know it until long after that. I'm type 2, and the one thing that I've done that really has helped my health significantly, as far as that goes, is I quit drinking.
Oh,
That'll
dude.
help.
Actually,
Some alcohol like whiskey can actually lower your
yeah,
sugar. Yeah.
that's what I was just gonna say. Hard alcohol, whiskey, rum,
Yeah.
but Tim, we know you're sober. Don't drink. You're cool.
Oh,
I will support you
saying
on
that
your sober
helped my
lifestyle.
health, my
But-
overall health immensely.
But I'm saying when I get a blood test that week, I go, fuck, I'm drinking whiskey. And my blood sugar is really good when I go in for the blood test. So there you go.
Because
Hard
I
alcohol
It's
helps.
just a small change, but I used to run like 180, 190, 170 all the time. I did a change. Now I'm 120s, 130s most of the time, 110s, sometimes 90s on a really, really good day.
Dude, if you see
So-
me running, there's a zombie after me. I had to say
Okay,
it. I'm
join
running
us
for my
next
life.
time on the after show for the health talk.
Well,
yeah,
dude,
yeah, we should
it's-
be we should do a typo negative cover band called Type 2 Positive.
hey, I brought in this is rock and roll where you're pissing on all the mailboxes, Mooger. But man, Jerry, you brought in a subject I didn't get into BS last week. Fucking Nikki Six is talking about avatars. What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah, I didn't really read the article because I didn't want to even.
Do you want to
Even-
really read an article about Motley Crue anymore?
It's like, oh, they'll put me in the grave or something like that, and the avatars will take over or something like that. I don't know if he was joking or not because I did not read the article. I kind of think he was joking. I'm hoping he was anyway. But yeah, you know what? It seems to be the thing of the future, so it's going to happen no matter if we hate it or not. So, you know, even the Kiss one, when it comes out, I have to admit, I'll probably watch it. Will I like it? I probably not. I don't know, but we'll see when it comes
Okay,
out.
sorry.
But other than that, yeah, I kind of think he was joking. Or like I said, I didn't read the article, so you probably know more than I do if you read it. So
I didn't read it either because I stopped reading Motley Crue articles because they
Yeah.
pissed me off.
Let me tell you something about old Frank. Frank has never been an innovator. He has always been a copycat, no matter what it is. He has never been the first one to come out with anything. He's always, oh, that's a good idea. I'll follow it.
yeah.
Same thing with this. The exact same thing with
Well, like I said before, I really think that Shout at the Devil, he found somebody's lyric book who was fucking in the gutter in Hollywood with a needle in his arm and stole it and said, hey, this is a good album. I'm gonna fucking use this. You know, because
well, I know of, and believe me, I know what I speak of as far as this goes. I know of nobody that has ever used heroin in their life that has managed to keep a diary about it. Nobody.
No shit. Absolutely correct.
Nobody. And there's
Hey,
a
you
reason
guys didn't
for that.
notice I have my Iron Maiden hat back that got lost at Disneyland? They sent it back to me.
Can I borrow that hat real quick?
Absolutely.
But fucking Motley Crue, man, it's just like
Oh, that's good enough.
I love.
I'm
2011.
sorry, Mark.
Go
1
ahead.
second.
No, you don't be sorry.
I had the coolest fucking ghost hat. This is what I hate when I drink. For
Again, Jerry, you're gonna go off on this.
I was at Rocky Pod and some woman really wanted my hat and I was fucking drunk. And I was like, okay.
And she
no
wasn't that
problem.
hot.
And it was I love the hat. It was one of those ones that are, what do you call, worn? They're
The
not
mesh?
worn, but
Yeah.
no, distressed or whatever you call
Distress,
it. You know?
yeah.
It's really fucking cool. And I have never been able to find that hat again. So kind of pissed about that. So if that girl, if you happen to be listening, the 1.5% chance that you are, mail it back to me. I'll pay you for it.
Well, I just called her not that hot, so I'm sorry. You're amazing looking. I would do you. There you go. If she's listening, hey, I'm sorry. I was just trying.
I am the happiest. I'd probably give you all the money out of my. Oh, don't spread that around. I won't do that. I lied. I'm very giving. I'm a very happy drunk. So I'm not surprised.
Jerry, I could see if she looked like fucking Kelly Bundy, dude, but she wasn't Kelly Bundy.
The condition I was in, she looked like Kelly Bundy, dude.
Oh my God.
2 into a 10.
What's that?
That first night at that bowling alley was awesome, dude. I mean,
What's that
was just
song in the fucking Big Lebowski with the condition I'm in, where he's just dancing and he's all fucked up? Fucking great fucking movie. My ex-wife doesn't like it, but fuck. Jerry, that was a great time. I want to get to Rock and Pod so bad. Now that I'm getting moved, I will talk to you guys to see if I could get there. Because my new girlfriend does want to go to Nashville with me, so that's fucking pretty cool. Because I've been talking to her about it. But Michelle, you fucking rule. I love you. But Nikki, Motley Crue, man. Why? It's like they released Dogs of War and they were all happy about it. We talked about this on BS. And it's like, as soon as it comes out, everybody's a critic, and Nikki Sixx says, fuck you. But you have 5 more songs that you said you're going to release out of this. And now it's like, we don't need to release new music because everybody's a critic. And you got fucking butthurt Mooger. Anything on that?
Well, yeah. I mean, they released Dogs of War and they thought that was the best fucking song out of the 5 that they were going to release, and everyone fucking shit on it. And they're like, whoa, we don't really need to do new music. I mean, it's okay. Hey guys, I got a jet. I
just want to give John 5 a big hug.
Maybe not.
All right, Booger. Take care, buddy.
See you later, Moog.
Later, Mooger. All right, man. So then we get to fucking Sammy Hagar, man. Got no response from Alex Van Halen about the new tour to come on there, Jerry.
Are you surprised?
No.
Ain't gonna fucking talk to him, dude. Good for Alex, man. Fuck.
But weren't they old friends at one time? What the fuck happened?
Well, first of all, of course, Alex is gonna side with Eddie no matter what, because it's his fucking brother. But yeah, he doesn't need to do anything. Alex is cool, man. He done his thing. I mean, I think it would be a step down and kind of an insult, I think, for him to come and join him on that tour, in my opinion. So I'm glad he didn't, and It's the way he feels. It's the way he feels. And if you ever, and all the shit that he said about him in Sammy's book, I mean, not so much about Alex as Eddie, but he still said shit about Alex.
But the thing is, he told the truth about Eddie. It's like Eddie, he got butthurt because I guess.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna say, I know it's a brother thing, and maybe he shouldn't have said that. It's like, Jerry, I know a lot of shit about you. I don't go on Facebook and post it.
That's what I'm saying. There are some things that have to stay behind the curtain, dude.
Yeah.
No, behind the curtain. It should not be exposed. So
but not much stays behind the curtain anymore. That's the problem.
I don't know about that. So, I mean, some bands, like, I'm trying to think of a band, you don't hear anything about their personal life or there's bands out there, I'm not gonna fucking ring my head right now, that you don't hear nothing about outside their music. So I think if you want to keep it quiet, you still can.
Well, I mean, I don't understand the problem. I really don't understand the problem. Alex is 70 some odd years old.
Yeah.
He's retired. Let him retire. He's earned it. He's more than earned it. Let him go.
Yeah, I mean, he's never played with anybody else besides his brother.
It's his equipment to sell. It's not the band's equipment. It's his personal equipment. If he wants to retire, let him retire. Enjoy the music that he's already given you. And another thing is, I have 4 other brothers besides me. We fought like cats and dogs. But that doesn't mean we didn't love each other any differently or any less or anything like that. But we damn sure had our moments where, I mean, I was ready to kill them and they were ready to kill me. But You know,
Yeah, I mean, you've
You
done
gotta-
you've done your take. Enjoy your
not just
retirement.
because he's your brother doesn't mean he's the same person.
Right. And
You know?
Sammy, the compliment Sammy, he's been relatively healthy his whole life. You know what I mean? He's
Mhm.
always had an energy about him where he can perform all the time. Maybe Alex, doesn't want to go through drummers, man, they take a pounding with their fucking arms being a drummer. Who knows? Maybe he's
A drummer. He's not a
it comes
singer.
nothing wrong with retiring, number 46.
That's why Neil Peart
Um,
retired.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like enjoy it, man. He doesn't need to prove anything.
He didn't need
He
to
loves
prove
it. He loves his brother. I mean, come on. I mean,
Alex just
yeah.
proven it. He's
Yeah.
proven it. It's done.
He's proven it by not going with Sammy, I think.
Well,
I mean, he doesn't have to say anything to anybody. He can just go live his life. He's
Yeah.
entitled.
It's
He-
always
he's-
always cool. It's always cool to make up because you're not going to live forever. You know what I
This
mean?
is Sammy Hagar needing relevance.
Well,
True.
no, well, but that's up for discussion, but Alex doesn't need to say anything. He doesn't need to prove anything.
Exactly.
His legacy was his time with the band. He put it in. His brother died. Maybe he's just like, I'm done. I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna
I've had
play
enough.
anymore. And he
I've-
does not owe anybody an explanation on shit.
Exactly. 100% correct.
I agree with all of you on that. And the thing is, when you go back and listen to all the Van Halen albums, even with Gary Sharon and Sammy Hagar, Alex is really a fucking great drummer. And
He is.
nobody puts him in the top 5 drummers, and it makes no sense to me. He's in my top 5 drummers of all
Well, I
time.
mean, he's a very quiet individual. That's why he's easy to slip through the cracks.
Dude, the guy was a partier. The guy was like, when
Dude,
he did talk, he was
that's-
fucking talking more than both of them.
I think besides Neil Peart, he had the fucking coolest drum set ever. I think his setup was fucking
did.
awesome, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even on that Live Without a Net
Yeah.
fucking video, he fucking had a great drum set on there, man.
I just think that Alex just went about his business.
But the thing,
On that note,
Does anybody remember back in the 5150 era, they all put ball caps on and convinced Alex to shave his head. And he was like, everybody else has balls. We're gonna start this tour bald, so you need to shave your head. And he was the only one that did it, and they all had like ball caps on it. Really fucked with
But
him.
if you
That was
notice-
funny.
Because if you notice, any of this stuff, any of this Van Halen drama, always centers around Sammy. It never centers around like Mikey.
Never, Mikey.
Well,
Never.
I gotta
Mikey.
give you
He
something
doesn't say
about
two
the
words
Mike.
to anybody about nothing negative.
The Mikey stuff, the guy gets a lot of like shit on by Sammy Hagar haters because he went with Sammy because Van Halen wasn't doing nothing. The guy was bored. Sammy invited him to go become part of Chickenfoot,
I
the
don't
Circle. He
blame
brought him
Mikey for
in.
doing that.
What the fuck? Van Halen wasn't doing shit.
But I mean, any of this shit dealing with Van Halen, all right, any of it, you hardly, unless it's shitting on Mikey, because Eddie shit on Mikey more
He
times.
did. He just shit on Mikey.
But
Yeah.
Hear a response from Mikey other than, oh well.
Yeah, Mikey's the
That's his
the
opinion.
classiest dude in that band. Well, Alex is too, because Alex hasn't said shit.
Even
Alex
David
and
Ross
Mikey.
starting to shit on like Wolfie.
Well, I was just gonna say Wolfgang Van Halen said that he loves Sammy. He loves everybody, man. And the thing is that he doesn't understand the hate, which makes sense to me, man. But I'm just going, I don't know why Mikey gets shit. They always say Mikey's sucking Sammy's balls, Mikey's sucking Sammy's dick. Mikey is a musician. Mikey is doing where he gets paid. Van Halen was not paying him. Mikey went on the 2004 tour and signed away all his rights just to play live with them because he loves Van Halen more than anybody in that band. That is just my opinion.
Yeah, Mike, there was never any drama surrounding Mike. We can all agree with that.
But
It was
people,
either Eddie and the
people
singer.
go off on
or-
Mikey a
But
lot.
I don't even think there was ever drama surrounding Alex and anybody. I think Alex was always the silent minority. He knew what he had to do, and he was always had his brother's back, no matter what.
I think there was a little drama with Alex because he would do interviews with Eddie. Like when Sammy left or was fired or whatever you want to call it, and they would shit on Sammy. And it's like, but he's backing up his brother. That's not him individually saying what he thinks alone.
But I'm saying Alex fucking loved Sammy at one time, and it just doesn't make sense. We lost Mooger and Jerry. They
Mhm.
had to go do stuff with their wives, which is cool. Which Tim, you were actually the only one scheduled for this episode. But I'm just saying that was cool to have them on here. But I'm just saying it just sucks. Because people ask Sammy about Van Halen all the time, and he gives his honest answers.
Mhm.
You know, he wrote an honest book, but should he have wrote that Eddie was a drunk during the 2004 tour? No, he shouldn't have called out Eddie, you know. But Sammy says they did make up. Do we really know that they made up? Do we really know that Sammy and Eddie made up? Because Alex is still not talking to Sammy. There is something there. There is something there that Alex is holding a grudge against him, and that's his right. He was in the best American band with David Lee Roth, better than Kiss, better than Led Zeppelin. They were the fucking party band and they fucking kicked ass. Nobody was like Van Halen. Can you say any band was like Van Halen with David Lee Roth?
Not American, no.
Any English bands were like Van Halen with David Lee Roth? They were different. They had a swagger. They had a mojo with David.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm
I
not.
like I
I'm not
say,
gonna deny
I'm gonna
that.
put this up. I got the box set, which I'm gonna do an unboxing later.
Yeah, it really like time to take the trash out.
No, I like Sammy. I like Van Halen. I like David. And Dr. Fuck gets on me all the time. Well, I like Sammy and I like David. You know what? I do. That is my honest opinion. I go back to the Sammy stuff. I go back to the David stuff. I love them all. I like the Sharon stuff too. But the Sharon stuff is like third, fifth tier Van Halen to me. So, but I like Sharon better in Extreme. But the thing is, and I believe Gary when he said we didn't have time to work on the material. And when we did it live, it was better. So I think Gary
Why
Sharon
would
gets a lot of shit
why
for that
didn't you have time to work on the material?
because they rushed it. And they
Who
had a TV producer,
Who rushed it?
Eddie, and the record company.
Yeah, exactly. Eddie rushed it.
It wasn't Gary Sharon. So people always blame Gary Sharon for Van Halen 3. That's all on Eddie.
Of course, Gary's not going to say it was his fault. And I don't know what it was because I wasn't there. But I do know this. At the time that they were writing for that album and recorded that album, everything was in-house in Van Halen.
But they had Mike Post produce that album. A TV producer.
The only thing that wasn't in-house was the distribution. Other than that, they recorded it there, they engineered it there, they mixed it there, everything.
But it doesn't make sense that people...
How they couldn't have time to work on the songs is that rings a little hollow because you don't have studio time ticking down.
Well, Gary said that the record company wanted this album out quick.
The record company gets my ass.
Well, back then in the 90s, the record company was in control of these bands.
No, see, that's the thing is once Eddie built his studio, and that's why he built his studio. And at least that's what he said, was because he hated being rushed by a record company.
But then Eddie was fucked up.
Being rushed by a producer that was paid for by the record company.
But why the fuck did they get Mike Post, a TV producer, to fucking produce a fucking Van Halen album, which he's never produced any fucking bands in his lifetime, and they fucking fired like 6 producers before they settled on Mike Post.
You would have to ask them.
I don't know, but the thing is, Gary is one of the most gracious guys, like Michael Anthony, who've been in Van Halen. He won't talk shit about Eddie. He won't talk shit about Alex. He won't talk shit about Michael. He won't talk shit about Sammy. He loves them all. And Gary gets a lot of fucking shit, and it pisses me off.
Welcome to the music business.
But he's fucking cordial as fuck.
Don't like it? You can always do something else.
I don't think you like Extreme, do you? Do you
No,
like
not
Extreme?
really. Couple of songs
I love Nuno. I
off
love
their-
Gary's
off their
voice.
debut album.
Well, you went off the debut album.
Yeah.
3 shots, 3 sides to every story is my favorite album by them. And then they have Saudi's The Rock, and the new album 6 is so fucking good.
Their debut, they had 2 tracks. They had Mutta and they had Kid Ego.
Yeah.
And those were cool tunes. And they're from Boston, so it's not like
You don't like Play With Me?
nah.
That was in the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure soundtrack.
But you know, they're from Boston, so it's not like I never seen them or heard of them.
Dude, I love that band. Gary, you know, he has a weird stage presence, but it works for him. But it doesn't work for Van Halen. It didn't work for it works for Extreme. It didn't work for Van Halen.
And to me, it doesn't work. Just for me personally.
I love Gary. He's one of my favorite vocalists of all time.
Not to mention Extreme, they weren't good songwriters.
What?
Did I
What?
stutter?
Have you heard Tragic Comic?
I've heard them all.
You heard the whole 3 Sides album?
Yeah. Doesn't mean I
Dude.
like it.
You haven't heard Rest in Peace?
Yeah.
Rest in Peace is an amazing song, dude.
Oh, you
That
think so,
that
Mark.
is about today, dude. It's like 2 sides fighting over each other.
You think so, Mark? Great.
Dude, I love sarcasm. Extreme puts so much sarcasm in their fucking music, it isn't funny.
See,
They
this-
are sarcastic as fuck with their lyrics.
This right here.
More than David Lee Roth. I'm sorry, I love David Lee Roth. He was more sexual into Windows, but fucking Extreme puts in the fucking sarcasm in their shit that's like makes you think more than Van Halen ever did. That's just, I'm gonna get shit for this, and I don't give a shit. Fuck off. You know?
This is why I believe there should be no Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hear me out. Another reason is because music is all subjective.
I agree with you.
It's all anybody's opinion. And we all have differing opinions. So how can somebody be in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if it's based on opinion? It's not based on facts, based on opinion. And they say, sure, record sold. Well, that record sold don't mean anything. If not, NSYNC should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No.
It should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No. NSYNC isn't fucking rock and roll, dude.
Opinion.
No, it's fucking.
Somebody else, some other little 20-year-old right now might have a different opinion than you.
You know what's sad? Billie Eilish will probably be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one day. Taylor Swift will probably be in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Oh,
Fame.
Taylor Swift, he's guaranteed.
She's guaranteed to be in there. It's like I said on Freeform, what we just recorded an episode that'll be on Monday. We're doing Mob Rules by Black Sabbath, which will be out on Monday. As soon as I edit it, I will put it in the queue. I'm just saying, it's like, god damn. It's like rock and roll thinks they invented everything. They didn't. They did not invent everything. So you don't need to put in the Taylor Swift. You don't need. I love Madonna. Should she be in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? No. You got the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. You got all these Hall of Fames. You don't see them putting in fucking Judas Priest and the hip hop or Aerosmith and the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. No, you don't see that. But you see them putting in Run DMC and the Beastie Boys in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or Madonna. But I will say Run DMC and the Beastie Boys belong there. Eminem, no.
But then again, I could hit you with, okay, what is rock and roll?
I don't know anymore. What is it?
Define rock and roll.
I can't because everybody's defining it for
You
me.
can't define something. How can you characterize it?
It makes no sense to me. It makes no fucking sense.
That's
It's
what I'm
like,
saying. That's what I'm saying is if I can't define what something is, then how can I say it's good or bad?
but the Hip Hop Hall of Fame can
Good.
defend what hip hop
Well,
is.
You know, it's like porn.
Fuck
They
porn.
would say. I can't tell you what porn is, but I know what it is when I see it. Same thing.
Dude,
I can't tell you what rock and roll is, but I know it when I hear it.
rock and roll is fucking should not give a fuck about what anybody thinks, which is metal. Grunge is rock and roll. I will say that grunge is fucking rock and roll. Okay. But when you put in bands like Public Enemy, Dr. Dre, Rage Against the Machine is rock and roll. I give them that, but
Ice-T.
Ice-T is not rock. Well, Ice-T with Body Count is rock and roll, not his rap. You know, just because they said rock and roll, don't
Then
give a
again,
fuck.
okay, then I go back to what is rap? You know, where's the line between rap and rock and roll? Where's the
I
line
think rap is
old and
great with
country?
old
line
Eminem, old Run DMC, old fucking Beastie Boys, old fucking Public Enemy.
I don't know. I mean,
NWA is
for
fucking
me,
great.
for me, it's anything that uses distortion could be considered rock and roll.
I like Eminem before he got serious. He got too fucking serious. But he got really. I like Kid Rock. A lot of people don't like Kid Rock. I think he's rock and roll as fuck.
No, I don't. I think I'll put it to you this way: Kid Rock, okay, should be called two different labels. Kid Rock, okay, when he puts out a rock and roll album, and Richie, whatever his last name is, when he puts out a rap album. Then that way you know, or a country album, or then that way you know. Okay, this is in the rock and roll vein. Okay, this is in the country vein. Okay, this is in the hip hop vein. And that way you know, because you get an album of his other than the first two, and it's
Cocky
like
was a great rock album, dude. You say I'm cocky.
yeah,
I say
like I
what?
said, the first two.
I ain't cocky unless I back it up. That's fucking rock and roll as fuck.
Yeah, like I said, the first two. But then after that, he started getting into country shit, and he started getting into more hip hop shit, and it's like you don't know where all over the place. It's like I want a rock and roll record.
Dude, it's like I don't know. I work with a lot of kids at my job, and I'm like, they don't know rock and roll. They don't know what good music is. But the thing is, I don't put them down because, like you said, it's opinions. It's like I'm a crusty old, like I call you, a metal curmudgeon. You know, you're a crusty metal dude. And that's cool because I respect your opinions. I don't agree with them all the time, but I respect you because you give real opinions, which I respect. And if you gave shit that went along with the masses, I wouldn't respect you.
Well,
But you do what you want to do,
if I
which is
wanted
fucking
to
amazing.
look, I'll put it to you this way: when I reviewed the new Sebastian Bach album with you folks, I knew I was going to get shit on for it.
Oh, I shit on you a bunch of times.
I knew I was going to get shit on for it, but I didn't care because I have to tell the truth. When I reviewed the new Black Country Communion album with you folks, I knew I was going to get shit on for it, but I had to tell the truth how I felt about the album, not what I thought popular opinion was going to be, but how I felt about the album.
You know why? That's why I bring you on. I want fucking real opinions. I don't want you to fucking lick my ass. Ever.
No, it's not
Ever.
but it's about, popularity versus how you feel. You know what I mean? And they don't necessarily jive with each other. But I cannot, in good conscience, live with myself if I hear something that I think sucks and I say, oh, it's great.
I never
just
want to hear you say that, Tim.
can't
Never.
do that. I won't do that.
I
And
don't
if
want
that
you to
means-
do that.
And if that means that I'm kicked off the show,
Tim,
so be it.
you will never be kicked off this show.
Well, I thank you for that. I thank you.
Respect opinions. I want a yin to the yang.
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't want
told-
somebody
'cause I-
agreeing with me. That's fucking boring.
Because I
That's
told
fucking
you
boring
right
as
from the
fuck.
start, right from the start, and for right before our first episode that I did on your show, that I'm going to tell you my truth.
And what did I tell you?
You said, please,
Please, please.
Yeah. So
I don't want somebody agreeing with me. That's fucking
guess I just wanted to
boring.
touch-
It's boring
I
as
just-
fuck.
just wanted to touch base and make sure that's still the way it is.
It's always will be that way, man. I'll bring you on any fucking show.
Fantastic.
If I know you're gonna hate the album, that's fucking I love it. I don't want everybody like we just did an episode on Black Sabbath, the Mob Rules, which
Yep.
will be out on Monday. The Jerry didn't like all the tracks, but he did love the album, and that was fucking fine.
Yeah, that's
All of us licked that album's ass. So
anybody that did
spoiler
that,
alert.
anybody that did that review of that album, okay, their opinions I respect to the utmost because it's their opinions. Now, if they're giving me, I'll put it this way. If they're saying on the review, oh, the greatest thing since sliced bread, it's
Yeah.
fucking perfect record.
I don't think there's
I'm
anything good as
so-
sliced bread.
But I'm hearing them on Facebook say this thing's a piece of shit. What are they doing? God, this thing is awful. Then I'm like, well, you're not exactly giving me the truth. And I can't make an honest decision on something if I don't know the truth. You know
Well,
what I mean? Does
I'm
that
just-
makes any sense to you?
I'm
at
just
all?
I'm not gonna shit on this guy. I love this guy. He's my brother. We talk in text. Terrence Reardon. I did a podcast with him. My first podcast was the Terrence and Mark experience. And we did a Striper album, and he licked my ass on that whole album. And then later I found out he didn't like it, and I quit
Mhm.
because I didn't want to hear him licking my ass. I want to
Yeah.
hear his true opinions. And Terrence, you rule. Check out his podcast on
Yeah.
YouTube, whatever.
And I personally, I guess I've just gotten to that point in life where I don't need that in my life.
I didn't want that. It
You know.
pissed me off. It pissed me off so much. I said, Terrence, I quit your show.
If you hate something, tell me.
I want to hear you hate it. I want to hear the fucking venom.
Yeah, and I want to hear.
I don't want you to lick my ass.
I just don't want to hear I hate the fucking thing. I want to hear why.
I want to hear why you fucking hate it. I want to hear what's your fucking true opinion. Terrence, I love you, brother. Don't get all pissy on this.
But I will give you that any and every time.
I won't. That's why I quit his show. It was the Terrence and Mark experience, my first podcast with him.
Yeah, I remember that.
And when he like lathered Striper, and later I found out he didn't like it, I said, you know what, Terrence, you and Andrew Jacobs, you guys do your own show. I'm going to do my own. But Terrence did freaking edit my first show, The Last in Line, which you don't like. The Last in Line debut album, which is amazing. I like that album. The other albums after that were okay. But he edited that, and I got pissed off at him because he put Last in Line music underneath my interview of it. And I'm not the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. I don't want to copy anybody's podcast.
Yeah.
I want to do what I do.
Yeah.
And I told him, dude,
You are
teach
not
me.
rock
I
and metal,
asked
you are
him.
freeform.
I asked him to teach me how to edit. He taught me, and I didn't use them anymore because that pissed me off. I didn't want that background music under
Mhm.
my review because that is a copycat shit. I want to be unique. I don't want Freeform Rock Podcast to be a carbon copy of Decibel Geek or Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Yeah, you want it to be like freeform.
I want it to be free form. I want us to go off on a tangent. I want us to fucking talk shit. And I said, Terrence, you put music underneath. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. I just want to play 2 songs or 3 songs off the album and let people hear it. I don't I want people to hear us discuss things instead of getting distracted. Other people tell me I like that. I like hearing it because it gets me into the music. But I play you 3 songs from the album, so that should get you into the music also. So I don't want to hear that shit underneath I want people to concentrate on what we're talking about
Mhm.
and not what is under
Yeah,
us
Not in the
talking.
background.
Yeah, I don't like that's them. And it's great. I love the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. Decibel Geek doesn't do that, which they play a few seconds of a song, which is cool. Chris Sinzak and Eric Camaro, you rule. Ralph Vieira and Ian Wally, I love you guys. Rock All Over You podcast. You guys do what you want. I love you guys too. I never miss an episode of those. And even what's that fucking podcast? Fucking Sonny Pooney and Stephen Michael. I love them too. Have you ever heard them?
No.
Oh my god, man. I'm so fucking I drink a lot of whiskey. Hold on. Let me get what they are because they're gonna get pissed off at me. Uh let's see what they are. They are Growing Up Rock podcasts. Check Growing Up Rock podcasts are good and damn good movie memories that has nothing to do with rock and roll. Ryan
Oh,
Davis rules.
and
And
don't
I
for-
get so jealous when other people are on that podcast because I want to be on that podcast because
and
I
don't-
love movies.
and
I
don't
love
forget-
fucking movies.
And don't forget the black spinners.
Oh, I was gonna say Andy Rodriguez and Al Horta. Black, I say them for last because I talk to them more and they are on Freeform and they are on the BS sessions. Andy Rodriguez, Al Horta, and also check out Be Cool or Be Podcast Out. Al Horta's YouTube channel. Check that out. He puts a lot of full concerts up there. Really fucking cool. And Andy Rodriguez, I'm not doing thatmetalstation.com this week on Wednesday because I want to be on their podcast, Black Spinner podcast, and we're doing David Lee Roth, Eat 'em and Smile versus 5150.
Versus 5150?
Versus 51, an album battle, but
I'd
they are
yeah.
taking off That's Life.
I'd love to be on that.
Hey Andy, if you're listening to this, get Tim on that episode. But I love my brothers, even if they don't agree with me on a lot of shit. Sonny Pooney doesn't like a lot of shit I like. He likes it's like, I love you, Sonny. You rule. I love you. You've been on our podcast. Stephen Michael, I love you, brother. You guys all rule, man. But fucking Tim, man, why do you hate Sammy so much? I want to know this. Get it on video.
Okay, why do I hate Sammy so much? My chronicles of hatred for Sammy. One, he ain't got no talent. Two, every band that he has been in, he has destroyed from the inside out.
You don't think that was Ronnie Montrose that destroyed
And then
Montrose?
blames it on everybody else but him. Three, he's a liar. He does not tell the truth. Like when he said Hagar Van Halen outsold Roth.
Yeah, that was bullshit. I agree with that. Dr. Fuck like got me on that. He showed me the stats, and I'm a stats person. So once he sold me the stats, and David Lee Roth sold more than Sammy Solo, and David Lee Roth Solo didn't have as much output as Sammy had, and I agree with that. So
You have to. I mean, all you got to do is look at 2 albums.
it's the stats. Eat 'em and Smile and
Both-
fucking
The debut
Skyscraper
album and the last
outsold everything Sammy did.
went diamond.
Yeah.
Both of them. That's more than Roth ever sold with Van Halen throughout his career.
You know, Sammy just he's got an ego like Roth has, but it's like because they never got #1 albums with David. But the thing is, think about it. What was going on when 1984 was hitting? What was an album that was fucking just killing the charts at that time? Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was going on when Sammy had those albums out? Nothing.
No,
Nothing. So Sammy was the best at that time.
well, I
But
mean,
you,
a band can't help that. I mean, you can't help your time in time, I guess, or your place in time. As far as when because a band only goes from a starting point to a finish point. That's it. And usually it's about 10 years. And then a band is done. I don't care what band it is. There are few exceptions like the Stones and all that, but
oh, if Rush was still alive, they'd still be going too.
normally 10 years. That's why I say there are exceptions. Yes, there are. Aerosmith, blah, 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 blah.
Rush.
But overall, a band has 10 years worth of output before either a band member leaves or the band just dissolves. 10 years. Okay. But you can't help when them 10 years are going to be.
Like Led Zeppelin, if John Bonham never died, do you think they would have been still big in the
Kept
80s?
on going.
You think they would have kept going if John
Sure.
Bonham never died?
Sure.
But you got In Through the Outdoor. That's
Yeah.
the direction they were going with All of My Love.
Bad album, but that doesn't mean they couldn't come back with another Zeppelin 4 or whatever.
But then you have the Robert Plant solo albums, which I like a lot of them.
And I don't know, maybe Bonham would have said, "Fuck you, I quit." I'm
Maybe.
sick of the road, because he was sick of the road. He was tired. He was tired of being away from his family. That's why he was drinking so much, because he was tired of being away from his family.
I'm just saying, man, I think I agree with you. The
But if you
stats
look
don't lie on Van Halen. Sammy Hagar needs to get his ego out of the way. But the thing is, David Lee Roth has an ego also. So when you
I'm not saying he doesn't. What I am saying is you don't see every YouTube video on every day. It's Sammy Hagar bitching about his former band that he's been out of for 20 some odd.
But the thing is, the interviewer goes off. I messaged Wolfgang Van Halen on Twitter. I told him I would like you to be on Freeform Rock Podcast, but I don't want to talk about Van Halen. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about your solo output. I don't want to talk about how you could talk about your dad if you want to, but I want to talk about you. When Sammy gets on there, everybody brings up Van Halen to him. Of course, he's going to say his thoughts.
Because he brings up Van Halen on his own.
I've never heard him bring it up. It was always the interview that asked him the question.
Start watching some YouTube video.
Maybe. I don't have time because I'm doing
He
two
brings them up
podcasts.
all the time, especially the 04 tour. He brings that up all the time. Yeah.
I saw the 04 tour.
Eddie was having a bad way about it. All right.
But when I saw the 04 tour, it was really good. I saw them at the Honda Center or the Pond in Anaheim. They're really good.
I'm just saying that Sammy gets a lot of shit because Sammy brings up a lot of shit.
But the thing is, the interviewers ask him about, they want the shit because they want the fucking clickbait. They want that clickbait. So they ask Sammy about Van Halen all the time.
And the clickbait should be, because Sammy's supposed to be this big rock star. It should be, when's your latest album coming out?
He had crazy. He had the circle. He had the circle a year ago.
Nobody
Crazy times.
Talks to him about the circle. Nobody.
I do. I would.
Nobody. The only thing they talk about is, have you seen extraterrestrials today?
Well, because the love walks in.
Or
some kind of alien.
Lies can you say about Roth era Van Halen? Because he said every one of them at least once.
But the thing with Roth,
and they're not, I was mistaken or anything. They're lies.
The thing is with Roth, I go with Eat 'Em and Smile, Skyscraper, the DLR band, and Little Ain't Enough. And then after, he has 4 good solo albums to me. Not great, except Eat 'Em and Smile is great. Except it's a bunch of covers on that album.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Sammy, I could go Montrose, I could go Chicken Foot 2 albums. I could go The Circle 2 albums. I could go a lot of Sammy solo albums. Standing Captain, Three Lock Box. For me, he put out better solo material than Roth ever did.
Okay. I don't
That's
agree
just
with-
my opinion. It's
I
an
don't- yeah,
opinion.
exactly. It's your opinion, and
my
you're
opinion.
more than entitled to it. But that doesn't mean I gotta agree with it.
Do I ever force you to agree with my opinion?
No,
No.
no, never will. But
Man, but what we talked, but I just
But I
want to
just-
get one last subject
I
in
think
here.
Roth is a better singer than Hagar. I think Roth writes better songs than Hagar.
Yeah, I will agree in Van Halen. Roth wrote
in
better
Van
songs
Halen.
than Van Halen, but
I'll put
solo,
I'll put Roth's debut album, solo debut album, against anything Hagar has to offer. Anything.
it's mostly covers.
Who?
That's Life, Ladies Night in Buffalo. Fucking what's that song they did? I can
Tobacco Road.
Tobacco Road. It was a bunch of covers, dude.
So Diver Down had a bunch of covers. I didn't.
Yeah, and Eddie didn't like that album. Eddie hated that
Van
album.
Halen album.
Eddie hated that album with the covers. He said, I had much more to do, but Roth and Ted Templeman said, let's do Dancing in the Streets.
The fans
do this.
didn't.
Well,
Fans, any poll you ever do, they regard Diver Down high.
well, because of little guitars,
Little guitars, full bug.
Full Bug. Yeah,
Um,
it has two of the best Van Halen songs ever on that album. But those are original songs.
I know that.
Just think if they
I'm aware of
made a whole original, they didn't need to put Pretty Woman on there. They
No,
needed,
No, Pretty Woman or Dancing in the Street, they could have come up with
they
something
could
better.
have come up with something better. I
And
do like the version of Pretty Woman.
I like their version of Where Have All the Good Times Gone?
I like that too.
I think that's a great version.
I think it's better than the Kinks.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. But let's get to one last story, man, that I didn't bring up on BS. Blackie Lawless says new Wasp music has to be better than the classic songs.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think he's absolutely right. I don't think he can match that, but I think he's absolutely right.
How is he going to make classic Wasp songs without the classic Wasp band? Do you
Because-
think he wrote everything on? Was it all him?
He did. Blackie
He did?
did. He
I
wrote
saw-
it. He performed it. He was Wasp.
I saw him
He was
live
Wasp.
with Armored Saint opening. Armored Saint beat, kicked their ass. But Wasp was amazing too.
Wasp and Kiss. And
But Blackie sings
Free.
with his own tracks. He actually sings live. He actually does.
Yeah.
I saw it twice.
mhm.
He actually does sing live with his own tracks. But the thing is, his vocals on those albums were doubled, so that makes sense.
That's a production choice.
Yeah.
I don't know who produced the thing, but I don't know.
But do you really think Blackie's going to make new music?
I don't know how much input Blackie had on the production side of it, especially in the first couple albums when he was trying to, get established. So
I'm thinking if he bring Chris Holmes back into the fold, I think it'd be great. Or Rick Fox. Rick Fox is an amazing guy, man.
that ain't never gonna happen. Not with Chris Holmes.
What about Rick Fox?
He could, but Rick Fox wasn't. He plays bass. So
But Rick Fox is an amazing person, man. I love that guy.
oh, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He will be on Freeform.
He
one
was
day.
also in Great White.
Oh, I love Great White. Jack Russell.
I
Jack
don't think he was
Russell.
on- I don't think he was on any albums, but I do think he was in the band before they got signed.
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna give a shout out to Rick Fox. I don't know.
He was in
you-
Steeler.
Steeler was awesome. It's just like
The last great thing Yingwie ever did.
I went to Rocket Pod. Sorry, Rick. Please don't take this offensive to you. I went to Rocket Pod. We watched Keel Fest. I couldn't make it to when you came out with Steeler because Ron was doing all those country and the Ron Keel band songs, and he started off with ballads. I like the Steeler stuff, Rick. I like your stuff. Whatever you done, Rick. Like I even told Rick, I told him on one of his posts, I said, dude, you need to get with a good band that will let you fucking be on the album. And you could fucking like an all-star band, just get on an all-star band. But he says, I don't think that'll ever happen. I go, dude, you're an amazing musician. You're an amazing person. It should happen.
And speaking of Keel, have you heard their new single?
I don't want to.
Huh? Okay.
I don't want to. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Is it with Rick?
I heard it on Sirius.
Is it Rick?
No, it's Ron Keel.
Maybe I'll listen to it because I did like the Right to Rock
But
album.
it's rock and roll. It's not.
I like the first two Ron Keel, the first Keel albums.
Yeah, but it's not. It's rock and roll.
But Rick Fox wasn't in there, man. Rick Fox needs more love, man. I love you, Rick Fox. Don't get pissed off when we get you on the podcast that I talk shit about Keel Fest because I didn't make it to when you got on the stage. I'm sorry. I had COVID. Jerry had COVID. So we left. There you go, man. But fucking Tim, I love you, brother.
I love you too, man.
You rule, man. You will be on a lot of these podcasts, man.
Well, I'm ready.
Seriously, man. If you want to be on next week's BS sessions with me, Edwin, and Al Horta, we're doing top 11 cocaine made albums.
11 cocaine what?
Like albums that were made on drugs that were great.
Oh.
Cocaine fueled albums. Like Eric Clapton.
Okay.
Like that. Like albums that, like Aerosmith, Toys in the
I was gonna
Attic.
say, any Aerosmith album.
Yeah, stuff like that. Any stuff like that, man.
I can do that, sure. Next week.
I'll get you on Thursday, man. 6 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern, man. Get you on there. Me, you, Edwin, Jerry, and Al Horta, man. That's it. We're done. All right, man. Thank you for being on the after show. We love you. Rick Fox, if you're listening, I love you, brother.
And as always, folks, peace.
Peace. Let's go.